Hey, hello, hello. So I am a little early. I don't usually do this early in the day, but today was a little bit different. We had a fabulous guest speaker in Heart Centered and Intentional Horsewomen who spoke on boundaries and how that plays into our outbursts. Also, you can kind of see her back there. This little spot here. That's B. That's our new B. And she is vocal. So pardon us if we can't keep our barks to ourselves during this little live here. Anyways, so listening to our fabulous guest talk about boundaries, I realized that part of what I've been talking about on this adventure from Outburst to Peace is actually something that is part of a much bigger picture. It played into her boundaries talk a little bit. And in general, hands down, this is like the one thing that changed me from these outbursts of rage to being a peaceful person. This piece right here. So I wanted to come on and share with you the one thing, because it's ridiculously simple and I feel silly even being like, people need to know this. But I find like, duh, I didn't know this. Like, anyways, let's get to it. So the biggest thing about the biggest thing to do when you're having this outburst of rage, first of all, is to know right now that it's never going to go exactly how you think it's going to go because you're pissed off. Like when you're in a rage, you don't even want to cooperate with yourself sometimes. And if you've never experienced that, well, I I don't even want to deal with myself sometimes. Okay. So, anyways, but the biggest thing is to identify how you feel, put words to it. And this is important because it's not usually the surface feeling. So if I'm going into feeling really mad, something happens, and I don't want to give too many prerequisites because we're going to talk about that side stuff. But if I'm about to have an outburst, whatever the reasons are, right? I feel angry. However, if I dive a little deeper, am I really just angry? Is this just anger? And I say just anger because for me, a lot of emotions translate into anger because anger was easy, because nobody was going to come emotionally talking to me, being all like, oh my gosh, you're hurt. What happened? And like, yes, I know, I exaggerate. My friends aren't like that. My family's not quite like that. But that's the way it felt to me. Like if I came out and admitted that I was hurt, that was a weakness. That was an opportunity of vulnerability. And I didn't want to show that to people. So, first and foremost, we need to identify what that real feeling is. If we're experiencing rage, are you really angry and just angry, or are you experiencing hurt? Are you experiencing resentment? Are you experiencing heartbreak, loss, grief? Like, what is it really underneath that anger? What's under there? So we have to delve in a little bit. And if you do find that it's just anger, that's chill too. Whatever it is, identify it. And then next, okay, you've identified your feeling. Great. Next, we're going to just ask these quick, like, why? Just quick, why? Why do you feel that way? What are your reasons? What's your justification? What's got you all heated up? So for me, the one particular example that I always use, because it's the one that this is the first time I used this process, and it was kind of an accident, and it worked fantastic. And obviously, here we are. So the next thing I would do is say, why? Why do I feel that way? Okay, so if I'm angry because I'm always put on the back burner. I'm always running around doing something for someone else and getting nothing back. I'm just tired of being a mom taxi. Over it. No time for me. Like, I could just go on. I do all the dishes, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So once you've got all your reasons, ask yourself, Are those true? Are the reasons you listed true? In most cases, you're like, well, duh, because I don't lie to myself. All right, well, newsflash. Some of those may be true. Others may be borderline, right? Like, do you always do the dishes? Are you the only one that ever sweeps the floor? Or does someone else occasionally do those things, but most of the time it's you? And right now you're pissed and you were the last one to do it, right? So, yes, they may be true, but they may not. The only thing that matters here is that we note, okay, well, these have a bit of truth, but they're not 100%. We just need to know. We need to know where the truth is and where the lies are, because we're dealing with ourselves here, okay? Nobody else is involved in this. So once I know, yep, this is why, yep, this is all 100% true, this is partially true, maybe there's a little room for error here, whatever. Now I'm just going to say, if I were someone else looking at me and I told them all of these things and all of my reasons, would I then feel that they're justified? Would I be like, oh, I totally get it? Would I be able to commiserate with them and show up with them and be like, oh, yes, I'm so tired of being a mom taxi too. I hear you. If you feel at that point that you would validate that other person, your feelings are valid. And I can just tell you, like, identifying your feeling, acknowledging that it exists and knowing where it came from, and then by going, yeah, that's real. That's real. And I deserve to feel that way. And it's okay that I feel that way. And this is normal to feel this way. You'll be amazed at how fast it just turns around. At how fast your anger will dissipate. At how fast you'll be like, oh, that's all. It was really fast. I remember that first time that I went through the full cycle and went, yes, it's legit for me to be pissed off and tired of being a mom taxi because I deserve to have me time too. That's okay. You're allowed to feel that way. That's totally justified. Your reaction to the thought and the feeling, however, your outburst, however, is not. But you don't even think about it. That's just it. Is once you get through the process and you realize all of this is okay, that I'm allowed to feel this way, that it's justified that I feel this way, all of these things, the rage is no longer existent. Because what? Why were you mad? Why were you mad? For me, why am I mad? Because I'm trying to keep it to myself that I have feelings, that I am a vulnerable human being who succumbs to random, average, normal emotion. I can't hide that anymore. You shouldn't hide that. No one should hide that. No one should have to hide that. And I tell you that your life will be better, tenfold, easy, when you open up to that. And again, this may seem simple, but this act of identifying your feelings, acknowledging them, and validating them is really powerful stuff. And it underlies a lot of relational issues. It underlies setting boundaries. It underlies being a calm, balanced, peaceful person, in addition to good, strong relationships that are there to stand the test of time, in addition to strong relationships with animals, strong relationships that allow you to accomplish things with your equine partner, with your canine partner, whatever it is that you are setting it out to be. Even if you're like, I don't have animals, okay, great. Your husband partner, your wife partner, your partner, don't care. It's good for you guys, okay? It's good for you, because a lot of times, like for me, I didn't even realize how disconnected from myself I was until I realized that I was covering up my own emotions from myself, that it was a discovery for myself just as much as it was anybody else. Okay. So that's my little piece for you today. And that's just a little insight into what's going on with our Outburst to Peace journey. There's so much more than that. And if you have not yet jumped in on that, you should. You should. And I'm not just saying it. No, I am just saying it because it changed my life. So this is why I'm sharing it, right? I'm sharing it with you because it changed my life and it's free. So head on over to Facebook, and jump into Heart-Centered and Intentional Horsewomen, where you will hear more about being emotionally balanced, being a peaceful person, and finding deeper, more satisfying, and connecting relationships with humans, animals, yourself, all the things. So awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will catch y'all later. Maybe, if I can successfully end my live without chaos.